EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for March 30th, 2022. It is Wednesday, and the Wednesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by the Walters and Zirinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate, serving Carbon, Lehigh, and Northampton counties in eastern Pennsylvania. If you're wondering about the value of your current home, call Sarah and Mike at any time to get your free real estate market analysis. They use genuine MLS data combined with 20 years of full-time experience to give you an up-to-date and detailed forecast of current real estate values. Reach out to the Walters Zirinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate and see for yourself what Sarah and Mike can do for you and find out what sets them apart in the real estate industry. They can be reached at 610-867-8888, proud sponsors of the Wednesday video forecast. Okay, so I have a lot to cover here in this video, and it's mainly centered on the next 48 hours. We have some hazardous-ish weather to speak of during that time frame. Beyond that, not quite as hazardous. So let's get into this today. We have a warm front moving through the region today. Not really that big of a deal. The National Weather Service in State College put out winter weather advisories last evening for this. It's a warm front moving through the region. I don't think it's going to have a lot of precipitation with it, and although you could get a few sleet pellets mixed in early, or maybe a trace amount of freezing rain. I guess for a winter weather advisory, you have to issue for any amount of freezing rain, so it is possible. But there is an area low pressure here driving this warm front northeastward through our region, and that's well off to our west. But this is going to move off from southwest to northeast through our region today, and most of you will see nothing out of it. You might see maybe a brief spritz or something like that, and that's it. But as you get out in central PA, you'll have an opportunity for a little bit of maybe a few sleet pellets bouncing or something like that. Here's the NAM high-res future simulated radar. This is a precipitation-type radar showing that warm front precipitation moving from southwest to northeast. And you can see not much here, not much at all, not really. A couple sleet pings here, maybe some spotty light freezing rain gives you a glaze. It's not impossible, but I wouldn't get too excited about this. This is going to go into early afternoon and then goes away. And today I have the mostly cloudy image behind me today because I don't think it's going to be completely cloudy. We'll have some breaks of sun especially once the front moves through. Very late in the day here towards sunset, you might actually see a lot more sun in some spots, but it's going to be not a completely cloudy day. Tomorrow, different story. I think most of the day is just mainly cloudy here on Thursday ahead of the next system. So this next system coming in is a cold front. There is, of course, the primary low moving through the Great Lakes here. And here's that cold front moving toward our region. This, by the way, is going to produce some pretty nasty severe weather across the deep south in the same exact areas, unfortunately, that got hit last week and the week before that. So, I mean, these people have had a rough time here in the month of March, and they're waiting for March to be over, certainly, because this has not been a good situation for them down there. And yes, we are talking about tornadoes possible with this. It's mostly a wind event down there for them, but we're looking at a QLCS tornadoes, which is basically a line of storms, and you have embedded tornadoes along that line forming, okay? So it's not like there's no discrete cells in this situation. It's not a supercell situation. It is, but it's going to be along that line where that forms. So bigger wind threat down there today for them. But regardless, as this moves eastward, you're going to have some severe weather across the southeastern U.S. here on Thursday. Now, we're going to have two impulses moving through. The first of these two impulses is going to move through on Thursday morning. So there could be a few light showers, okay, with this first impulse moving through. The second impulse is going to come in behind it, and it's going to give you the opportunity for the possibility of some severe weather. Here is what the Storm Prediction Center had for day 3. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, I will have this updated with the day 2 outlook on Wednesday morning, this morning. This is the old outlook that is going to be updated well past midnight. I'm not going to be up then, so this is where they have a marginal risk in the green, slight risk for severe weather, basically the Delmarva region and points southwest. Okay, so that's where they had it for day 3. Again, I'm expecting this to be updated again for day 2, and I will post it on my Twitter account. If you do not follow me on Twitter, it is at EPAWAWX. Okay, that's me, or you can search my name. You'll find it. It's actually my personal Twitter account not the business account. So you'll see me post out, put my information on there. Occasionally I'll post something about sports or whatever, whatever I'm drinking that night, it could be. So it's not a business related. It's business related, but it's kind of not too. It's my personal account. But I will have that information posted on Twitter today with the updated information and my thoughts on that, okay? That's basically the best way to get it. Facebook, I really don't do that kind of thing, okay? Facebook's just for, updates, daily updates, that kind of thing, or maybe weather alerts for rapid updates. Anything I do quickly, it's going to be on Twitter. Okay, so this is going to move through, and then this will have showers and thunderstorms with it, and that's going to go through the overnight. Now, here is the NAM high-res future simulated radar for Thursday morning. This is looking at 8 o'clock. You can follow along the timestamp in the upper right-hand corner of the video here. As I move this forward, you got a little bit of shower activity. This is generally really light stuff, but it's persistent, and that's going to be through the course of the morning and into the afternoon. Then you get to about mid-afternoon or so, it kind of dies down and wanes a little bit, and you get a little bit of a break. Not in the clouds necessarily, but you get a little bit of a break in the action as far as going from a little light shower activity, intermittent light shower activity, to nothing at all. And then you have this line of storms that's going to get going here in central Pennsylvania and move its way eastward. And this is not overly impressive of looking of a line, but remember, this is precipitation. A precipitation radar. This is not indicating severity of storms. So there is the opportunity that some of these storms could have some wind gusts as this line moves through. Generally, you're going to see some 35 to 45 mile per hour winds with it, and then some peak gusts 50 plus associated with this line as it moves through. And like saving grace here, you see what the time it is? This is midnight when it shows it getting through eastern Pennsylvania. There is a difference in timing between several different pieces of model guidance. Some have it much earlier. So we're going to iron out the details of the timing here in the next video, which we're going to have for Thursday morning. Hopefully by then we're converging on a time frame. But I would expect that you're going to have these little showers in the morning. You might have a break in the action for a little bit, and then we get in the evening, during the course of the evening, and this will go past midnight, in fact, until it goes off the coast. But you will have the opportunity for some scattered thunderstorms, a line of scattered thunderstorms moving in. There's the other part of this, okay? By the way, this is not a tornadic situation. This is a low cape, high shear environment. So you're most likely, I can't completely rule out a brief weak spin up somewhere along this line here, but it looks like it's mostly linear, unidirectional, which is a straight line wind threat, okay? So that's your primary severe mode with these particular storms. And might not be a whole lot of lightning with them either, but we'll see. There's not a lot of instability to work with at the mixed layer, which is what we're looking at for the best cape. So, or instability in this case. So the other aspect of this is going to be the wind. Okay, so you're going to have a little bit of a capping inversion in the morning. So capping inversion is as you go up normally we go up in height, in altitude. The temperature at the surface goes lower as you go up in altitude. If you have a capping inversion, it actually goes higher just above the ground surface before it goes lower. So that little bit of a capping inversion in there will prevent the downward transport and momentum of wind to the surface, because this is going to start in the morning, according to the NAM here. It's going to be early, but there's a capping inversion in place here in most areas. So it probably doesn't reach the surface until we get to the afternoon. But once we get in the afternoon, that cap breaks. We also have wind gusts that are going to be 30 to 40 miles per hour with some higher peak gusts throughout the entire afternoon, and that's going to go into early evening. So during the daylight hours, you have this opportunity for those 30 to 40 mile per hour plus wind gusts, okay? And that's going to be across the entire territory. And then once we get that cold front move through, once those storms fire through, you have the thunderstorm winds I spoke of that could be a little bit higher than that until that line clears. But once that line clears, the winds are going to drop off pretty dramatically once we get into the overnight period, and we just have some residual showers at that point. So we're going to continue to follow the severe weather threat with this, but I wouldn't go too excited with this just yet. And we'll see what the SPC does for day 2. And I want to see some new data before I give my thoughts here on Thursday morning on Twitter, okay? So beyond this, we have a partly to mostly cloudy day here on Friday. Can't rule out a spray shower. That's not impossible. Temperatures are going to be back in the 50s again behind this front. By the way, Thursday is going to warm up significantly. We're going from 42 to 48 today, a little bit milder than yesterday, but not by much. And then when we get to tomorrow, those showers and storms around, but you're going to have the temperatures climbing well into the 60s, and in some places in southeastern areas getting into the lower 70s before the front moves through. But then we're right back down in the 50s, generally low to mid 50s for the remainder of the forecast period straight through next Tuesday as a general rule across the region. Low to mid 50s is generally what we're dealing with. And the next chance of precipitation looks like it's going to hold off until Monday. So we have a mostly sunny day here on Saturday. Sunday is going to be a mostly cloudy day because you have a little system in the vicinity off to our south. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy here on Sunday. And then here's a little trailing short wave that's going to come through late in the day and evening on Monday. Could give you a few showers with that. Just a quick hitting system, not much with it. And then we're back to partly cloudy skies on Tuesday. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for March 30th, 2022. Have a great Wednesday.